Welcome back, guys, to a new episode of the Fourth Fig Guru podcast. And our fourth fig guru today is someone who moved from the fitness industry straight to the insurance game. And in her second year, actually, she's also the first female guest we have.
Yeah.
And in her second year, she broke the company's record, and her sales was 5.6 million. And within 3 years, she had $13 million of sales. And again, we're about to make her introduce herself and tell you a little bit about what she does. But let's roll the intro first. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing
How
great.
was everything?
Wonderful. No
I'm glad that you
complaints.
made it safe. It was raining a lot outside,
Yeah,
huh?
big time.
Yes. So before we even start, you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to start asking you the questions.
Absolutely. So my name's Parita Patel, 34-year-old here in Tampa. I run an insurance agency locally, and we have about 75 agents now. Started off with just me in January of 2021. We've come a long way since then. The idea is growth more than anything, and I'm excited to keep expanding, really.
Oh, yeah.
Why insurance?
You know, insurance found me. I was never looking for insurance. In 2020, when COVID kind of like closed a lot of industries for a lot of people, I also suffered from that, losing my career for 4 years in the fitness industry. And when I went to go reapply for the next job, find my new place in the world, the first company that reached out to me for an interview was an insurance company. So I had no idea that that's what I was interviewing for. I didn't even know what I was getting into, but it found me. It's almost like it was meant to be.
Was it the current company that you were at, or was it a different one?
Yeah, the
so you've
first-
been with the same one
the
ever
same
since.
one. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that you did 5 million in 1 year is just crazy.
Thanks.
Like agencies,
5.6.
like huge agencies, do that after like multiple years, kind of being in business and so forth. When you did 5.6, how many people did you have under you?
At that time, it was mostly just, I had 12 agents by the end of the year. So I think
Gotcha.
throughout that year, we just added 1 or 2 more people every month. But I only started a team that January in 2022.
So let
it's
me
just-
ask you this: did you do most of the 5, or did your team do the 5?
Oh, that was all me. That was my
that's
team,
just
my
crazy.
record, yeah.
And we'll get into all this later, but like, how many deals is that per month or like for the year?
So I would say 40 to 50 a week.
Gotcha.
Damn.
Is
That's
kind of what I was
crazy.
putting in.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was working like 8 days a week. I blacked out that year. I couldn't tell you one
Said
thing.
eight days a week. The math ain't
8
mathing,
days
right?
a week, bro. She worked
The math ain't
overtime,
mathing,
on the
bro.
overtime.
I mean, this is what you got to do to be top 1% in your space.
100%,
Like,
yeah.
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, we wanna dive into like next steps. What are you trying to do now? Like,
Sure.
obviously, over the last 2-3 years, you learned a lot in your objectives. But we want to kind of like take it back to like day one.
Yeah.
Right. We like to paint a picture for everyone to show them like upbringing, like things that worked out, things that didn't work out, different businesses, and then what you're doing next steps. So why don't you tell us a little bit about like how you grew up, like where you came from, all these things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually born in the UK. I wish I got to keep the accent though. We moved to, I would be way cooler. It'd probably be like 10 million sales in 1 year if I had the
Yeah,
accent, right? But in 1993, my dad picked up my family from the UK and moved us over here for the American opportunity. You know, we didn't know what that looked like, but there wasn't one in the UK. So at the time, my brother was still in, my mom, you know, he wasn't here yet, but it was just myself, my sister, my mom, and my dad. And I've always known my parents to be incredibly hard workers. And growing up, we did not have very much. So I was always very appreciative of what we did have. And all I saw is them working. And the only problems that we really had in our lives, it all came down to not having enough income. And anytime I saw my parents fight, or it was because we had struggles financially. So I feel like growing up, to me, I almost equated success with money, right? So I was on a mission to go find that, whatever it was. I didn't know what it was, but I would always tell my dad, you know, one day, Dad, I'm going to buy you a yacht, right? When I went to the University of Florida and I did business, I thought I was going to be a doctor, but I did not like the books. Like I just was not interested. I picked up one business book and I knew I needed to switch careers. So when I graduated the University of Florida, I went into corporate America and, you know, working a 40-hour week, 9-to-5 job. The first job I took was for Target in downtown Minneapolis. So I moved to Minnesota when I graduated, and I was a business analyst. You know, typical 8 to 5, like not anything fancy, but it was a 40 hours a week job, and I was finishing everything I had to do in 15 hours. And I thought to myself, okay, what do I do now? I need more. And I asked my boss for more, and he said, well, sometimes more is not ready when you're ready. I quit the next day. You know, I had a feeling that I had something else that I was meant for in my life. I took another job in Texas, in Houston, Texas. It was a smaller company, so I could make a bigger impact. But again, same thing happened, you know, climbing the corporate ladder. I started making $50,000 a year. By the time you pay your rent, your bills, your student loans, your car payment, your insurance, whatever, there's what, $200 left? What, is that the American dream that I was looking for? No. So eventually, when I left corporate America, I knew that I had to go start a business. I knew that that's the only way that I could do something big enough with my life that I can actually take care of my family. So I moved to Tampa in 2015. When I moved to Tampa,
So you moved back to Tampa, I mean.
I was from Orlando. So,
Okay, because
yeah.
you said University of
Florida?
Florida.
UF is Orlando,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Gainesville, Florida.
Okay. Gainesville.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not even right.
But my parents were in Orlando, but one of my really good friends from college, you guys might know him, Herschel. Herschel Topiwala.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we used to go to school together.
Oh yeah. I don't know him.
The guy is incredibly successful. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he's like, yeah, let's start a business together. So I moved in with him. He was making like 7-8 figures, so I knew he was successful, and I thought he was going to mentor me. We did start a business together. I started a jewelry business. I handmade these, you know, jewelry pieces,
didn't know that.
necklaces, earrings. You know, I had like 20 pieces. I had a little briefcase. I went door to door to different boutiques in Tampa, different clothing stores, and I showed them my pieces. I said, anything you see that fits your brand, they would place orders. I would make the pieces. Imagine me, I spent $2 on the materials and they sold it for over $150 in their
Damn.
store. I knew that
Let's run it back.
yeah, I know, right? The margins are incredible, right?
Yeah.
So, and I got reorders. So I thought, okay, this is good. The problem was it was just me by myself, you know? I got really bored. I missed being around people. I thought maybe this should just be a hobby.
Right.
So I put it to the side. I also got my personal training certification because I wanted to do something that mattered and I wanted to help people get healthy. I thought that was a good space. So I got my first personal training job at LA Fitness. And, you know, they charge, what, $60 a session. I got to keep maybe $6 of that.
Oh
Damn.
no.
It's a fucking crime.
Wow.
Can I curse?
Yeah.
It's a crime. Eventually, I knew that there's no way that that was going to be it. You know, Facebook ads, they just pop up randomly here and there. I saw an ad for this high-tech workout. They put you in this suit and they're like basically muscle stimulation while you're working out. They said 20-minute workout, but worth the an hour-long training session. But it was only 20 minutes. So I signed up for the free trial. I did it. It was the most insane workout. Like I thought I was getting beat up for those 20 minutes, and I loved every minute of it. You know, I thought maybe they're hiring. Okay, and they were. So they took me on. Now I'm making $18 a session, not bad. But the owner of this company, he wanted to build 100 studios in 5 years. Big dream, right? They only had one at that time. And I was bought in on the dream. I was bought in on the workout. I thought this is going to be big. I knew it. So they hired me. I started with them. I got there and he was still writing invoices on paper. I thought to myself, there's no way you're going to build 100 studios in 5 years if you're still doing shit on paper.
Yeah.
So I started to organize his processes, trying to just like put things together for him. In 3 months, he promoted me to COO.
Okay.
That's
And I thought to myself, well, shit, dream job, dream, you know, industry. This is, I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I spent almost 4 years working for this company, working 80 hours a week, but it was a startup. So I'm making what, maybe $2,000 a month? So the money wasn't there, but eventually the goal was, it was like sweat equity, right? I was going to be an owner of the company as soon as it hit big.
How old were you?
Let's see, 25 or 6?
25, okay.
Yeah, I moved to Tampa 2015. I was 25.
Okay.
So I just thought that this company was going to be big and I would be an owner, and that's why I justified everything. And then what happened, right? In 2020, it shut down the fitness industry. It shut down all of hospitality, everything. We just opened up in New York, in the heart of Manhattan. And in operations, you have to wear every hat. So I was hiring, I was training, I was recruiting. I had clients because I was still a personal trainer. I was selling all the packages. I made the studio look beautiful. We did everything. And in New York, I'm selling personal training, $2,000 a month. People were paying that.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought to myself, holy shit, I make this in a month, and you're spending this just on your workouts. It's not like I had a limited mindset, but I never had money, so I didn't know what that looked like. But I figured if they're affording it, they're paying, okay, right? And then we opened it up, and it was the most exquisite location. And then boom, everything got shut down. They couldn't afford to keep me on anymore, so they had to let me go. They let me go November of that 2019. I got married February of 2020, and let's just say that I thought things would get better if I had the title of wife. I thought that maybe we'd be equals, maybe we'd be, a team, but it never really felt that way. And 2020 during COVID, I mean, how many people's relationships really took a hit, right? So that year was the worst year of my life. I lost my career, everything I worked for 4 years. I was in a loveless marriage, and I was losing myself every single day. A little piece of me died more and more every single day. And by the end of that year, it was just an empty shell. And it was tough because I loved my husband, but I wasn't in love with my husband. And we started talking about like kids and stuff. And I thought to myself, shit, like, how can I bring children into a world and teach them about love when I was lacking that in my life? And, anyways, I still had hope, right? I made a commitment, I made a promise, I had hope, but I also thought to myself, he's making all the money and I don't have a job right now. I need to re-enter the workforce. If something happens to him and we do have a family, how am I going to support this family? So I decided to update my resume. I went on to Indeed.com, where most people go. Within 3 hours, the company I work for now messaged me and said, hey, come in for an interview. I thought, okay, that was easy, right? I went in for the interview. They presented this opportunity to me. They showed me how much earning potential was in the insurance space. And I thought to myself, well, holy shit, like if these people can do it, why can't I do it? The kind of income I saw them making, I'm like, this is life-changing money. I can finally take care of the people in my life. And my goal was actually to make $100,000 and then go open up my own gym. That's what I initially wanted to do. I started that January, and then I just started gaining some traction, and then obviously the rest is history.
What a crazy story.
We were
Damn.
just actually
Thank you.
talking to someone who opened the gym, and apparently it takes way more than $100,000.
Way more. I know that now.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much your record a year. That's what it takes.
This motherfucker spending $4 million on that shit. But anyways, he's opening one like that's crazy. If you guys haven't checked this podcast, actually go to the last one. But yeah, he's opening like a big one that's
Like
actually
an
for
Equinox or something?
It's like
It's
for
gonna be way bigger
bodybuilders.
than
It has like
Equinox.
it's like
crazy.
35,000 square foot
Holy
with like
shit.
400 pounds dumbbells, like for bodybuilders and stuff. Anyways,
Okay.
not the point. The point is, my question to you is, when you got to this interview, I know that how the insurance interview goes. It's not like, oh, you're gonna get this much money. It's
Yeah.
like, no, you actually have to pay for leads. You actually don't guarantee anything. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
gonna have this workspace and you're working on your own. How did you justify that? Because a lot of people, like, I'm pretty sure you see that when you recruit people.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is not guaranteed. I have rent to pay. I have bills to pay.
Yeah.
How did you justify that?
I'm not gonna lie, my interview was so quick. I don't even think I was told one thing. I wasn't told anything about the role. Like they did this informational, and then we did like one-on-one. And the girl that interviewed me, she said, she asked me like, are you a hard worker? Are you ready to commit to a new career? And I said, yes, yes, yes. And then at the end, she was like, oh, what does your husband do? And I said, oh, he's a dentist. She goes, that's cute. You're gonna make way more money than him. And I thought to myself, okay, sign me up. So they didn't even tell me about the
Like, where's
leads
the
or
motherfucking pen? Yeah.
yeah, like they didn't tell me anything. So I showed up for work and I was just like, okay, what do I do? And they told me make 400 phone calls a day. I said, okay. And that's what I did. So honestly, I have no idea.
400 phone calls a day is insane.
Yeah.
That's
what-
amazing, though. Like, I love the fact that you're a true hustler.
Thank you.
And the thing is, like, I always try to, like, figure out if people are born with it
Yeah.
or can you teach someone to be a hustler. Like, the fact that you're creating jewelry and, like, you're going to stores, right? In a sense, you're door knocking. And then, like, you're like, okay, I see opportunity. Let me try the gym space. All right, cool, go all in. And then you see the insurance space. All right, let me go in there. Like, you're looking for opportunities. Most of the time, people are kind of going by and letting life happen to them. You kind of wanted to manage your own life.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, do you think you were born with the hustle mentality, or did you somehow develop it?
Yeah. Have you heard of locus of control before?
I haven't.
It's called, there's an internal locus of control and an external locus of control. Internal versus external, it's like a personality type of thing, but it's like, if you have an external, you're like, oh, it was all luck, or oh, it's not in the cards for me, or that person just had it made, or you blame anything and everything around you. Now there's people in my family who are like that, but me, I'm always like, it's internal, like it's not luck, I'm gonna go get it. If anything is wrong, it's my fault, and if I'm doing things right, it's because I'm going after it. So even though from the same parents, if I compare myself to my siblings, I think you're born with it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's either a part of you or not. And it depends on what you want and what you want badly enough, because my siblings are not the same as me. And they always say that. They're like, if we had to choose you, we wouldn't choose you because you're the exact opposite of us. You're too much, right? I think you're born with it, but I think people can develop it or not. But
What do your parents do?
So my mom is she's an esthetician, makeup artist. She does like wedding makeup, and she's been doing that for as long as I've known her. That's her passion. She makes people beautiful. My dad was a computer programmer by trade.
Nice.
He earned his initial like really big, I guess, earnings from the stock market because he used to do like day trading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know people that has the locus. You said locus?
Locus of control.
Locus of control external when they do something bad. Like they be like, oh, it's the people, it's
Yeah, you blame
everything.
it on
And when they
others.
do something good, it's me.
Yeah.
It's internal and external
I
at the
hate
same
that.
time.
That's called ego, my boy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
what I
I
was
know,
gonna
that's what I'm
say.
saying. Yeah, some people have both of them, but anyways.
Yeah.
So the insurance space.
Yeah.
Can you actually like explain to us a little bit about the actual insurance space? Like, what is it right now, and like, I know there's like multiple streams of income and this and this and this and this. How do actually like insurance agents make their money?
Yeah. So there's different kinds of insurance, obviously. You've got life insurance, you've got health insurance, you've got all the different kinds. I focus entirely on health insurance. And there's different areas within the health market. You've got the private sector, you've got the public sector. I focus on the private, even though my license allows me to like see all the things. But if you're looking at like the public marketplace, those are government-based plans. And the government's only going to pay you so much, so there's not a ton of earning potential there. Within the private space, because I work for a company not associated with the government, their income structure is not normal. Like, you get paid out commissions, you get residual income, the bonus structure is unbelievable. But if you take care of people, that's all that matters. That's what separates my business from everybody else, because I haven't had to purchase one lead since my third month at the
That's
company.
crazy.
Not one lead, because every single thing has been one referral after the next, after the next.
How do you squeeze
crazy.
that many referrals?
People have tried to duplicate the process, but I did end up finding people with a stronger voice than mine on social media. So my partners on social media that I met just by randomly DMing people, those people had a very strong audience, right? These days, to build an audience from scratch on social media is like
hard.
impossible, But if you started, a long time ago, which my partners did, so their audience is so strong, they've built such good trust with them that if they put someone's name out there or a product out there, the people listen. And if they have a 20,000 following, for me to even get 1-2% of that following to work with me, that's what happened. And then as I don't just ask people for the referral, like, you're my partner, so I'm only going to win if you're winning, and you're only going to continue working with me if you're happy with the service I provide. They trust me to take care of their audience. And I'm not just trying to sell anybody. I need to know, am I taking care of the right person and doing what's right for them? Because I don't care about what I'm going to make. The money will come. If you chase the money, it's going to run away from you, right? So referral partners, they started to see success. And now people ask me if they can be my referral partner, which has been kind of cool. So I have so many now. I've kind of honestly dominated the industry within the space. So my niche is, doctors, medical professionals, nurses, things like that. Yeah. So
I don't know if you want to share, but like, how do you kind of like structure the referral partner
Like make one?
program? Do you pay them like a percentage of commission? Like, how does that work?
yeah, they only win if I'm able to help somebody. So, just like most people, if you do a referral, you get kind of like a kickback or a thank you. Yeah, if I'm able to help somebody get set up with coverage, they end up getting a kickback from me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I haven't heard anyone like really create like a whole referral system in the insurance space.
Yeah. Yeah, it started with my partners through like State Farm. Now, State Farm, they don't take kickbacks. They're not allowed to
Yeah.
legally. But, you know, I remember one of the leads when I was purchasing leads. One of them at the end, you know, he was like, Parita, I want you to you've earned my business, but I also want to give you my life insurance like policy. Can I take that with you now? I told him I don't sell life insurance. He wanted like a 5 million policy. And
crazy.
so I was like, okay, let me think of what I can do to help you. And I remember my State Farm guy who sold me my homeowner's insurance back in the day. At the end of that call, he said, hey, let me know when you're ready for life insurance because I can help you. So I thought to myself, okay, I can't help my client with life insurance. I'll call my State Farm guy and connect them. And when I did that, my State Farm guy goes, oh, that's amazing. I actually need somebody that I can send health insurance people to.
Nice.
And that's when it all clicked for me because I was like, okay, like let me continue to refer people out and look, I'm getting referred back. And then it just planted that seed in my head. And I thought to myself, I'm never going to have to speak my name because if I have enough people out there vouching for me and saying my name, that's exactly what referral marketing is. So.
I know I'm asking like a lot of questions. I want to dive deeper into this because this is huge. This is kind of like the level of agencies making like 200K a month where I push them to develop referral partnerships, just like Raw Media and Gentech, and then we have like OmniPublic. How do you cultivate and keep the referral like partners like hungry and wanting to keep on sending referrals? Because, you know, a lot of times you meet someone and you're like, hey, I'm going to send you clients. You send me clients. Cool.
Yeah.
No one ever sends anything.
Yeah.
How do you get the machine rolling? How do you make sure it never dies out?
Absolutely. I create an image in their mind about what's possible. So, you know, once I had that first partnership and I told my, you know, future potential partners, I was like, my current partners are taking home $500 to $1,000 a week. That's the potential size of the prize if you're interested in something like that too. And we're helping people so much more through this. Because when people go online looking for health insurance, they don't know they're about to become a lead, right? They don't know that they're in every 10 seconds, they're about to get their phone blown up from some telemarketer, sales agent. They have no idea what's about to come. So to prevent from people having to deal with that, you know, a referral allows you to just communicate directly with somebody who trusts. Now, to answer your question, you know, I also make sure that my partners know what my goals are. Because if they know what I'm working towards, they care because they love me and they care about me just like I love and care about them. You know, building a relationship is so much more than just financial gain, right?
Yep.
My initial partners ever, I've taken them to dinner, we've gone out, they have a baby right now. Like I'm invested into their lives just like they're invested into mine. But when I tell them, I'm like, hey, this year my goal is to do 5 million, they're like, okay, let's make a strategy because they care. And I think that's been the difference. Yeah.
I actually love that.
I don't think I've heard anyone like verbalize it that way because a lot of people they like they want to build partnerships and stuff like that, but then all they think about is like dollar on dollar return. They're not thinking of like long term. Maybe nothing's gonna happen in the first 3 months, but maybe when they see that I'm the trustworthy source, then they're gonna start sending business and whatnot. So that's a really cool concept.
Yeah, I think even when you think about like networking events, when you go into a room, everybody's so focused on what can I get out of this? How many more clients can I get out of this? They're focused on them instead of thinking what value can I provide to the people that I'm talking to? So it's always like, what can I do for you? Oh, I can take care of your audience because they need health insurance and they don't know where to go. Perfect. Let me help them. And eventually everybody wins. We never talk about numbers. We never talk about money. Like we just talk about who's being helped. And you can see that because now when they go post me, the clients will comment, oh my God, we love Parita. She's so sweet. She helped me get out of this bill. She helped me take care of this. Like they actually see that I'm there more than just like making a sale.
Like one of the issues that like I see is when we have like a strategic partner and then they start sending us too many clients, they're like, I can just offer this service and take the full cut. Do you deal with that? Because like technically, say someone working in State Farm, they can't sell health, right? But they're like, I'm sending Parita so many clients. Why not just tell my wife to go get her license? I'll just send her to clients.
Yeah.
Do you deal with that or no?
Thankfully, no. I have heard, though, other insurance agencies reach out to my partners and say, hey, we'll pay you double what Parita pays you. And my partners have said, we'll never work with anybody else every time. Because, again, we don't make it about the money. We make it about the people.
100%.
You know, and I think even our generation, the right people care more than just the money.
Agreed.
These days, people are not incentivized so much by, you know, at least not that I think. They care more about what they're doing and why they're doing it than materialistic things. So
how was the switch after you started making more money with the?
for me,
Yeah.
I mean, I was worried
I
about
like the
like
drama. I want to hear drama. Give me some drama.
I'm sure I could definitely tap into that. I'm not gonna lie. I was
give her like 5 minutes. He's gonna start shitting on old men. Watch.
Just start with Raw first.
I'm just playing. Yeah.
Start with Raw.
it's just one girl,
I know,
three
I'm just
guys.
playing,
I
I'm just
can't
playing, I'm
possibly
just playing.
shit on you.
We're against Raw too, so
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I knew that was coming. I was
it's
about
3-on-1.
It's funny because I think Ra met me at a time where I had a lot more anger in me, and I've come to peace with a lot of things just because some people just suck. You just let
I'm
that
at
go.
where you're at right now.
Are
Like
you?
back then, yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Give me some drama.
drama. I mean,
Give me some drama is not a podcast question,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
yo,
not a
here's
podcast
what I'll
question,
tell
bro.
you. People out there that are putting content and just showing their cars and showing their jewels and their money, it's such fucking bullshit. Nobody cares about that kind of stuff. You're attracting the absolute wrong thing when you do something like that. There's more to life than how much money you have in the bank. It's character, that, you know, integrity, that. Like, are you respected, or do people talk shit about you behind your back? Do they act like whatever you want in front of your face and then say whatever they feel like truly behind your back? Like the measure of your character should be how people actually care, like talk about you when you're not there. So I'll leave it at that. But I did drink the Kool-Aid and get like bought in when I first had money. It's like I almost felt pressured that if I don't wear designer, if I don't look a certain way, that I'm not going to get taken seriously. And then eventually it finally clicked for me. Like, look at all of the most successful humans in the world. Are they walking around wearing a Gucci tracksuit with multiple chains and driving their cars? Like, no, they're not, because that's an ego that's showing, right? Because they feel like that's the kind of attention they need. They're overcompensating.
I agree, but I disagree at the same time.
Because he wants to wear the Gucci tracksuit.
I'm the
with
last
Lambo.
person. I'm the last person to do that. They forced me to buy my fucking Rolex. See,
say,
they did
you
exactly.
wear a
that.
t-shirt all
Bruh,
day.
I mean,
yeah, bro.
with you,
I
it
would
was
go
a
to Walmart and I
strategic
would
play.
dress better. Huh?
With you, it was a strategic play, bro.
That's
You
different.
He was charging $7,000 a day and pulling up in a $3,000 car.
No, well,
You
yeah,
cannot
that,
do that.
I do not give a
Right.
fuck about cars and watches and all that bullshit. But I think in your space, it's different because the main reason why a lot of people do it in your space is for the purpose of recruiting, if I'm not mistaken. Some of them is ego issue. Some of them does it because that's what sells, that what gets people into the door so they can recruit more.
Yeah, but recruiting, it's like, who are you trying to recruit? Somebody who only cares about money or somebody who cares about people?
Both.
Valid.
I mean,
But the biggest, do you disagree that the biggest driver for people is money, especially for a job? Your
Yeah, but
driver,
money
your
for
biggest
what?
driver when you joined the insurance was to actually like make more money and to live comfortable and to not have like drama in your life.
but money for what? Money for cars and nice things, or money for taking care of my family?
Yeah.
It's a big difference. I want people to be money motivated, but not material money motivated.
Yeah.
Because that shit's not going to go with me when I die,
Yeah.
right? But what values did I instill in my kids? You know, I don't want my kids to know how much money we've got whenever I have these kids. Like, I don't want them, because I never grew up with any of that. And why do you think I turned out? Oh my God, what is it? I wish I had my phone because I wrote it down. Okay. Tough times make strong people,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And strong people
Make easy times or whatever.
make
Bad
easier
times. The bad
times.
times create strong people. And it's
That
cycle,
whole
yeah.
thing, right? So if it's just like, I'm going to make a ton of money to make life easier for my kids, I'm going to raise a couple of little shits.
Yeah.
And they're going to be weak.
That's why I take my baby girl's money when someone gives it to her.
Let me save that for you.
nothing.
That's the most Middle Eastern thing,
Nothing,
bro.
bro.
Let me save this money for you so when you go.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think recruiting, like,
kidding.
I'm glad that you said that.
I'm kidding.
That's
Keep
funny.
on giving her money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care to recruit somebody that only wants that.
Yeah.
I care to recruit somebody that maybe doesn't have a lot and they do want a lot,
Yeah.
but they want it for different reasons. Because here's what also happens, okay? I know of some people in the insurance space that recruit people like that, and then they get them sucked into something, and then those people waste all their money, and now they're broke.
Yeah.
They're broke in the
100%.
first year because they spent all their money on stupid fucking shit. Trust me, they pop into my office and on my phone all the time where they're like, Parita, like, I don't have any money. And I'm like, it doesn't look like you're walking around. You're wearing these
Yeah.
clothes. You're buying these things. You just bought a new car. What do you mean you have no money? Oh, it's because you are outliving what you can actually, like, what you have.
Afford, yeah.
So I think that it's teaching the wrong things. And I think I'm recruiting a ton of people and I'm not showing any designer on a regular basis.
And when you started this industry, that switch from making like $50,000 a year, like you explained, to like how much money did you make the first year?
Like 500,000.
How was that? How was that like change? And like you like what did that do to you?
The
Yeah,
first,
she made a year salary in monthly basis.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
the first time I bought anything that was like expensive, I didn't do that until October of that first year, and I bought myself a birthday present.
What was
So,
it?
it was it
was
was butterfly designer heels. I'm a girl. I love butterflies. Yeah, they're dope. I should have worn them.
No, but what my question is, like, for example, for me, when I first made my first 10K a month, okay, actually, I went from making like 4, 5, 6K a month to making 17K, which is double, which
Yeah,
is more than double.
which
So
is
I was
huge.
like, but for me, it was not a happy feeling. It was a scared feeling. I didn't want to get used to that. And then I lose that. And I was like, was it
Yeah.
a lucky month? Was it blah, blah, blah? You know? How was it for you? That's my question. Like when you started making that money, was it happy? Was it scared? What was your feeling?
It was more just like, I don't think this is enough. I have to keep going. I didn't really stop to actually think about what had happened.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I just got started and I didn't spend the money. I didn't spend anything my first year. I still picked the apartment that was $2,100 instead of the
Yeah.
apartment that was $2,300.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I've always been that way. And I'm still cheap to this day. Like, if the toll road doesn't save me more than 10 minutes, I'm not going to fucking take it. Like,
I'm the same way.
who I am.
I'm the same way. I swear to
you
God.
know, hey, that's how the rich stay rich, right? Like, they're not wasting their shit.
I wish I can learn that from you guys, but yeah.
I literally sometimes like, cause we're still in Channel Side, and to take like the Solomon here, it's like $3.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder if there's traffic on Bayshore because I saved $3.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, we'll take a Bayshore today.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the next steps for you?
So we're actually a couple weeks away from opening up our own office. So we're about to
Congratulations.
take,
Congrats.
thank you,
That's
take my
amazing.
whole team. We're going into our own space, and that's going to be such a game changer for
How big is
us.
the team right now?
Sorry?
How big is the team?
75. How big is your team?
75. Yeah, approximately 75. But we're outgrowing the space that we're in. We're sharing it with other insurance agencies as well. And, you know, having a space of our own to be able to do what we want with our culture, train how we want. And, you know, and we don't care if we're number one. We care about every single person earning, every single person consistently profiting.
So let me ask you a question there. How do you make sure that someone earns if they don't have the drive in them? Because in an interview, everyone's a top salesperson, everyone's hungry, but when you like dial 400 dials, they don't do it. So even though you care, how do you get them to make commission and money?
I mean, honestly, I tell them before they even start with us, I tell them that I'm only looking for people because not everybody can make it. The only reason I'm hiring is because not everybody's cut out for this. And even the first day that new agents start, I tell them half of you will probably be gone by the end of the month because it is cutthroat. It's still competitive. So if you don't have the drive, bye. I'm not interested because I am going to give my time to people that are ready to give 120%. And if you're not, then this isn't meant for you. So
What are some things that you look at the first month to be like, all right, that person has the drive, this one doesn't?
yeah, if I see people leaving at 7:58 when we told them the hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and they're just like ready, watching the clock, ready to go, it tells me they're not that bought in, you know? When people are already taking days off or vacations, I didn't take one vacation for the first year. And then when I did take a vacation, I still put 100K in sales that week. Because I'm still going to work. I'm a business owner. What am I going to do? Close my business? No. So, you know, I'm looking for those things and I'm paying very close attention. In sales, you guys know this, it's mindset more than anything. And when people start really like getting in their own heads and they start, you know, doubting everything, it makes me wonder whether they've got the strength. Because mental fortitude is really the biggest thing necessary. Confidence, without that, you're never going to win at anything in your life, let alone sales.
Do you ever try to train them?
Oh yeah, I train them every day. Yeah.
Even if you feel like they don't have the hunger?
If they don't have the hunger, that's not always something apparent. They'll fake that in the beginning, but eventually their actions will show me. But I'll have a serious talk with them. I'm not afraid to be like, listen, why are you wasting my time? Do you really think that I am who I am right now for you to waste my time? No. Do you care about providing for your daughter? No. Then leave. Because that's what this is about. I tell people we're not here to make an income. We're here to make a significant income. To do anything significant with your life, you have to sacrifice. You have to put yourself into a whole different kind of ball game. And if you don't have that, then it's not the right fit for you.
What is the average of the significant income that you're talking about? Like, what is the average that insurance agent make in your agency?
So you don't start out as strong as you could,
Yeah.
right? But we anticipate at least $2,000 a week minimum, right? Because then you're earning at least 6 figures and then some. And then if you're doing that, then with the bonus structures and everything like that, you can make over 150 your first year.
And do all of them work from the actual office, or do you guys have like some remote people?
No, because we say they come for the income and earning potential, but they stay because of the culture. Without having like-minded people around you, it's hard to keep going at that level, So I don't think it works from home. It won't work.
So do you guys have like for example, just a question that's popping in my head right now. If you guys work those many hours, and I know how many hours you guys work, there's mothers in there and that they stay away from their kids for like 12, 14 hours a day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what my parents were doing when I was 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't remember any of that shit. They were working. They were sacrificing to provide for me.
Yeah.
I didn't get birthday presents or birthday parties that much growing up because we didn't have it. So it's like, if you want that kind of life for your future where the kids, they can get what they need, then you have to
pay
sacrifice.
the price right now. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So we have a lot of single parents, single moms, and that's the thing. They're more hungry than anybody else because they have a mouth to feed. They're not going to waste that money.
They have a purpose.
Yes.
I feel like most people don't have a purpose,
Yeah.
And it has to be like deeper than like a limb or a rollie. Like it has to be like a lot deeper.
Which is why I don't care to use that to get them, because I know that that's not what it is that's driving them. That shit's fleeting, right?
My problem is like with young people, because we have a lot of young people that come to us. They're like, "Hey, I want to join your team. I want to do sales." And the reason I ask you, like, do you try to like at least train them or instill some confidence, is because like I truly care about them. And I'm like, do more dials, like be more confident, be more assertive. I want to see you win, but they're always going to be the same person that they are. So it ends up not working. So like sometimes I waste time trying to get them to win when they don't want to win.
Yeah.
Even though they say they want to win.
Well, we always say to people that I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. That's just the truth of it. But I, from day one, I find out what their why is. Like, why are you here? Why did you choose this crazy career path where you're going to be working 70 hours a week?
We had one interview, asked him the why. He said he wants to go to Rome. Where was it? Remember?
Just like travel, vacation.
Yeah. I was like, what's your goal? Like, why do you want to join our team? He was like, well, my first goal is to go to Rome. I'm like, okay, bro, we're not a good fit.
Get out right now. Go to Rome right now, bro. Get out.
And then what, right? What's next?
That's what I said. You achieved that. What then? He's like,
Yeah.
well, I guess, I don't know. I'm like, all right, cool.
The thing is that I feel like we are still trying to like hone in on exactly like what is the image that is going to attract the perfect individual. Because you're right, like the shiny objects, like they don't attract the best people, but sometimes it might.
True.
Like, for example, when I first connected with Amel, the reason I was attracted to his business and his profile and all of that is because he had the items that I wanted.
Yeah.
But then when I got into the business, I fell in love with the game and completely forgot about the income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm just in it for the game.
Yeah.
So like, but it's hard. Like I didn't know I was gonna fall in love with business because I'm just like you. I went to school. My parents wanted me to be a doctor. Did all that. Didn't enjoy that. Went to do business. But how do you feel like it's the best way to position yourself online on social?
Yeah.
Because you can kind of manufacture your image on there,
Yeah.
right? Like if in real life you're like super humble, XYZ. Sometimes on social, you can kind of like show a different side of you.
Yeah.
If you decide, hey, listen, this picture maybe can attract this type of individual, or this type of caption will attract this type of individual.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is the best way to attract the best people?
Yeah. Unfortunately, social media is fake more now than it's ever been before, right? So I think, and I don't want you guys to get me wrong. Like, it is good to have nice things because, yes, if people can't take you seriously if it doesn't look like you have the things that you're talking about, right? So, like, yeah, I have a dope ass fucking car. I have a nice big house. And I carry myself very professionally and very well. But my personality has not changed at all since I've gotten money. Like, did the money change you? Are you an asshole now? Are you a bitch now? Or are you still a caring person that puts others before them?
100%.
And so the content that you'll see me put out there, it's funny because I have a social media manager who helps me curate my content. And she'll give me multiple options. So she'll say, this is one caption. If you don't like it, here's another one. And I'm always going to pick the one. She'll have one that says, I'm $1 million. Like, I have millions of dollars in my bank account. And the other one will say, I helped hundreds of thousands of people a year. I'm going to pick that one every time because I'm not even comfortable talking about how much money I make or like that side of me, you know? So it's like my personality and who I am and how much I care about people. I'm so vulnerable on my social media. I'm always going to be honest. I don't care to say what I think people want me to say. I'm just going to say what I feel and how I feel. And I think that's the difference. Like I've cried on social media. I've been angry on social media. Like I've done all of that. And I think you can have really nice things, but your authenticity, you can't fake that shit.
100%.
Right? And if you are truly yourself and authentic on social media, then you'll attract the right people because they'll be like, damn, I want to run through a wall for her because she's succeeded, but she's not this person that's like flashy and throwing the shit in my face. There's more to her than the stuff.
Right.
That person that interviewed you, they gave you an opportunity that changed your life, right?
Yeah.
Who's the most person that comes in your head, the first one, like when you mentioned someone that you changed their life or like you helped them a lot with this opportunity again?
That I've helped?
Yeah.
The thing is like I don't feel like I've
sure
done
there are a
enough
lot.
yet, you know? Like
I'm sure a lot, but there's
I'm
always
sure a
that
lot.
one that came to you like, you know, like everyone has that one.
yeah.
Anyways, just something to think about maybe till
That
the
is
end of
something to
the-
think about.
Yeah.
Who's yours?
Me?
Yeah.
My
who's
baby,
your-
I just
whose
got.
life?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to change
Whose
his
life did you change, bro?
My
Yeah.
own, bro. But
I-
I don't recruit people, but yeah.
I haven't done enough yet. There's still too many people to help. There's still too much like because I feel like I haven't succeeded in my life yet, and maybe that's a personal problem that I need to take home to therapy. I'm never gonna feel like I've made that much of an impact. There's too many people that need more help.
So what is success to you then?
I don't know.
That was
At
a
what
deep ass
point?
question.
At what point are you like, okay, I'm successful?
You know, I used to think that settling down, getting married, and having kids would be very selfish of me because then my focus is only on a handful of people. And there's this part of me that's like, no, I have to like, you know, people tell me all the time, Parita, you can't save the world. And I'm going to be like, watch me try.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that sometimes it's overwhelming to like
100%.
how much there is a need out there.
You can't save the world.
I know. Which is why I'm always going to think I'm never that successful because there's too many things. There's too many people that need help. You know, eventually I want to have a nonprofit. You guys know that Tampa is like one of the largest platforms for child sex trafficking.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That shit makes me fucking sick,
Yeah.
right? And like I lose sleep over that idea. And I got to do something about that one day. I got to get myself to a point where everybody that I know is good so that I can achieve and attack something bigger like that.
Do you feel like sometimes like you live to work instead of work to live? Because like that's a dilemma that me and Amel like talk about all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we can hustle all day, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And yes, we can take care of our people. But sometimes is it better to be present with them than to provide more?
Yeah.
Even a conversation I talk with my fiance about all the time.
Yeah.
And to her and to a lot of people, they would rather see me versus me provide.
I know.
Now, obviously, providing is super important, but again, it's a dilemma. There's no correct answer. But
Yeah.
what is your point of view on that?
That opinion would have been different maybe a year ago, but now that I have my niece, she's changed my life. January of this year, she was born, and I in between appointments or calls, when I have like 2 minutes of downtime, I'm just staring at pictures of her, videos of her, and I like ache. You know, like the mother in me is like, okay, we gotta do that too.
Yeah.
So I think when I'm gonna realize how important that is the most is when I have children of my own. But I also think that right now, maybe to answer your question, success looks like freedom. The freedom to do whatever it is that I need to do at whatever moment in time. If I need to go take care of my kids or I want to go be with my family, my business is self-sufficient, my team is doing well, everybody's good, that means I have the freedom to go do that. Maybe that's what success looks like. So
That's actually my definition of success
Yeah.
too.
is it? Yeah.
I think to like answer your question from my end, I think there's stages in life.
Yeah.
right? So like, you know how they say like in 20s learn, in 30s build, in 40s enjoy. You know, I think it is stages, because it's not like if you're 30 and you're broke, yeah, go work, because like no one's gonna miss you in your 20s or like kind of like early 30s. When you're 30s, like your parents are kind of getting older, your grandparents are really getting older. You maybe have a child, they kind of want you around. So like, I think people have multiple lives, and we should live in stages versus just have this one life as like just one stage. Because like a lot of times, like people will say, I'm a doctor and I work all the time and I'm on call and I have 2 kids, which I hardly get to see, and I drive a Toyota. That's my life. But that can be your life for like 15 years.
Yeah.
After that, you can completely change your life. You can go be a lawyer and drive a Lambo and work from home. And that's like the thing that a lot of people are scared to kind of initiate, is change your life completely. I mean, you changed it.
Yeah.
Right? You were going to be a doctor. You're like, no, that's not my life anymore. Sell jewelry. No, that's not my life. Be
Yeah.
in fitness. No, that's not my life. Insurance. We'll see how long this goes. Maybe you change your life.
Right.
You know?
I mean, adapt, right? Adapt with whatever happens. And I think for me as a woman, I'm definitely thinking, okay, my hustle's probably going to have to slow down to be a mother and like, you know, take care of a home and potentially be a wife and things like that. But there's this thing that I have, is this problem. I just want it all. I want success in my business. I want success in my home life. I want success in my health. I want success with my family. Like I want all of that. So I agree with you. You know, it's just going to be about like getting the most out of every minute. You won't see me waste 10 hours in front of a TV.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not willing to do whatever it takes to make everything happen for them. So
Yeah, and also I think also for business owners and entrepreneurs, maybe in our industries too, I feel like it's so easy to mix both. Like my life is revolved around my partners and my team, and I fucking love it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I love being around.
That
my
is
team.
a good part.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like you're saying, for
good and
example, we work
bad,
from
but-
6 to 10. We work from 6 to 10, but we're here together, laughing, joking. This is work right here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True.
So like it's feel like Parita, her best friends are all in her team. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at least as far as I know, you know. So like you get to spend your time with, maybe your parents would be the big problem, right? But at the same time, I'm telling you, bro, if you're gonna spend like 6 hours a day with your parents, they will kick you out of the house.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm tired.
You're like,
of
get me
this.
out of here.
They would not spend
That's
6 hours. with me.
that's exactly what I'm saying. So I feel like there's a balance already. I feel like we already have a lot of freedom that we don't appreciate, because it's different when you're like employee. You don't control who's sitting in the desk next to you. You know what I mean? But for us, we get to pick our team. We get to pick our employees. We get to pick our clients. We get to pick whoever you want. So if you're not happy with that, that's your fault. You know what I mean? Not
True.
you. I'm not talking about you.
I'm like,
Oh, shit,
damn.
he's coming at me.
I'm like, damn.
He looked at me like, why the fuck are you looking at me? But anyways, long story short.
The interviews with
took that
Parita, bro.
personal,
Stop
bro.
grilling me, please. Thank you.
But yeah.
Nah, it's that 8-1 loss they had in FIFA, bro.
Damn.
But anyways, long story short, I do feel like it's
Completely dodged it.
you get to pick,
Yeah.
and that's one of
So
the free.
true.
That's one of the things that we get the luxury to do that a lot of people don't do. You know.
Yeah.
But also, I asked that question to a lot of people in our space and or your space, and they always give me like an answer. And I know your answer already, but I think it's good to like say it here: is male versus female
Yeah.
in this industry.
I mean, I've been told since the minute I walked through those doors, this is a male-dominated industry. And I thought to myself, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Women, the reason why women could dominate this industry, and they should, is because we have that compassion, we have understanding, we have that, you know, that motherly instinct, that love. Like, that is supposed to be, because it's all about, sales is about people. Whatever you're selling, it's always going to come down to people, right? And who's better with people than a woman who cares, right? It comes more naturally to us than anything else. And a woman, like, if you work with a woman, your guard's down for the most part, right? Whether it's a woman and a woman or a man and a woman, the guard is always down. But with a guy, if you're, you know, a guy's trying to sell you something, usually your guard's up because you're like, I don't know, right? So the thing is, we have that potential. The problem is that women don't always have as much confidence as men do. You know, it's like we need to ask for permission to be successful. I don't know always why that is, but that is the case, you know? So that's the biggest separator, is a man doesn't ask for permission to go get what he wants. He goes and gets it without apologizing, never, ever having to apologize for himself. But women, we're always just like, oh, is it okay? You know? And there are times that like, we worry about outshining people. I used to be that way. Now I don't give a fuck, right? I'm going to shine as bright as I like to. And I'm not going to.
When did that happen, though?
After I started succeeding here.
Okay.
Because even in the fitness company I was at, there's still this part of me that thinks if I was just listened to, because I had some business ideas and thoughts, and I still to this day think that if we listened to me, we probably could have saved the company. I don't know. We'll never find out, right?
I feel like the tides are shifting though.
Yeah.
I'm finding more weak men than
Yeah,
ever
men are
before,
weak as
and
shit.
some of the women we're meeting, I'm like, damn, what a beast.
They're savages.
Yeah.
Like you're a savage.
Good. Thank you.
Like a lot of people that we meet, I'm like, bro, like compared to you, I don't even want to talk to them. You know, like I want like hungry people around me. Like I want hustlers. And I think the good times created weak men. I think we have weak men right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, personally, I don't like separating it. Are you a female or a male? Like,
Yeah.
because a lot of times people will be like, you're a top female salesperson. It's like, not like you're a top salesperson.
Agreed.
Like, why like even throw in the female part? But I respect like, because I was raised by a single mom, so like I respect women. So like whenever a female is crushing it, like I'm like, go. And I agree with you. I think female salespeople are a lot better. That's why like I'm always like trying to like find female salespeople on our team. It's just hard to find ones
know.
that have the confidence because I'm like, I know you can do good, just like believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about like the sales stuff.
Yeah.
So I know that naturally it came to you that like you're compassionate, so it helped you with the sales. Over time, like it just sounds like you've been doing sales like ever since you started hustling, right?
Yeah.
You were selling jewelry and then the fitness stuff. How did you learn to sell outside of the compassion side?
Yeah. The fitness company did a lot more for me than I realized right away because I learned techniques and I learned how to talk to people. I learned what to look for when I was forced to do the sales. Because when I went to New York and I was told, okay, our prices here in New York are $2,000 and in Florida, they're only $400. That was hard for me to wrap my head around. You know, I was like, who's going to buy this shit? That's crazy. And I realized I just had to believe. That's the word. Like I had to believe in the product because if you believe in what you're selling, it's easy. And all I did is I spoke about what I loved about it. Like, cause I did the workout. I was sold on the workout, right? And I would just talk about what I loved about the product. And then it was just simple, you know? And I don't think I could sell something I didn't believe in.
Yeah.
I could never work for somebody that I don't believe in, that I didn't, trust or anything like that. I've left jobs because of not wanting to work for the people because I lost respect and all the things. So I have to believe in the product.
Would you say there's something else? So believe, care, what else do you think is going to make a good salesperson?
I mean, there's definitely some skill set too, right? Like your tonality, your ability to be a chameleon, right? Mirroring is one of the most important things you can do in sales, but still staying true to your personality. So I don't care if you're 22 years old or if you're 64 years old. I'm going to talk to you like we're equals. I'm going to be respectful. But if you are a 22-year-old and you're just, kind of joking around with me, then I'm going to probably just like get my voice a little bit higher and hang out with you. And it's cool, like we're friends. But if you are someone who's a 63-year-old man, I'm going to deepen my voice and I'm going to talk to you like we're serious, like we're talking business. So you have to have the ability to be a chameleon. So there definitely is skill set, right? And how to ask questions, but not in a way to manipulate. It's simply to be relatable. So maybe that's the word.
How do you train tonality? Because I feel like that's the hardest thing to train.
Yeah. It's through kind of what I just did, right? So like explaining the tonality, but through example. I pitch, I read the script. What I'll do with my team right now when I'm trying to teach them something is I'll have them all around me and I'll put my client on speaker and I'll just pitch them so they can hear both sides. They have to be super quiet, but they can hear both because then they're going to see how I handle different situations. It's just going to be through examples. Yeah.
The reason tonality is hard for me is because there's so many variables in tonality.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
Like a salesperson that we have, he pauses for a second too long. Right. It's like, okay, now I got to tell you to pause a little shorter.
Yeah.
Now, the thing with tonality is like, I can train it, but a lot of people don't pick it up that they're doing it. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been telling them stop saying blah, blah, blah forever, but it's not that easy. Right. You still say blah, blah, blah.
I honestly feel with my,
And then,
with my
like-
sales. Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean,
No. I'm just saying with sales, I feel like, maybe sales is like, Because honestly, I feel like people at the end of the day, the sales call is a trust thing. And the more I can make him feel like he can trust me and I'm confident, like this is my thing, like believe is 100% I'm with you, care is 100% I'm with you. Like for example, like a lot of times I talk to some people and I'm like, literally working with me is not going to help you. If you're here, like I told them, for example, if you're going to do content alone, it's not going to help you. If you're going to do content paired with paid ads, that's when you're going to see growth, because I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you to sign up with me and then expecting content is going to change your business.
Right.
And then you post and you get only 2 views and then you come and complain that the content is good. You're just not showing it to the right people. And the way you show it to the right people is to pair it with paid ads, for example. And when I say that, they trust me. Now
Right.
they know, because it's not about the money. And even though like sometimes I'm like, I should just tell him, he's literally right here telling me his money's out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's telling me like, here's my credit card. And I'm like, no, I don't want to work with you, except if you're understanding that you're not going to achieve results with this. This is just some videos you can show to your friend and you know what I mean or no?
Yeah.
So if that's what you want, some videos to show people, go ahead and do it. But if you're expecting results from this, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Except if you already have audience that you can like do a call to action to. But with your Instagram right now, with your sales funnel, you're not going to achieve shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's when people actually start, a lot of people we talk about it and I would be like, my word of selling is like soft selling. I don't need to push you to do it. You know what? Like, I don't need to. Like, I'm not going to go pitch you and tell you, hey, this is what you need to do. No. You're going to see it. You're going to like it. And you're going to get addicted to it. And you're going to stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And guess what? When I send it to Gentech, for example, and they do the paid ads and they make more money, guess what they want to do? They want to keep going with me and they want to keep going with Gentech. So it's always the right thing to do is what makes you like a good salesperson, I feel like. I feel like tonality, like I've never focused on tonality. The only thing I need to focus on, for example, is like how fast I speak.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people take it as nervous, even though I'm super confident, I'm super like calm, but because I speak fast,
You're
people
so
get it
fast.
the wrong way. Yeah, people get it the wrong way. People think I'm nervous, you know? So this is something that, so of course skill set is important, but
I mean,
at the same time-
tonality, I kind of group everything into tonality because tonality is kind of like your
yes, your rhythm.
Your
and-
pace.
I mean, kind of like how like you speak and everything else, but I kind of group everything,
Yes.
you know, because like it's very important. Like it's like so important, and that's the hardest thing for me to train
Yeah.
new salespeople.
I think you just have to be really blunt. Like, okay, so I have an agent today who was ready to do his final presentation
What's
so
his
he
name?
can get cleared. So he can get cleared to do sales, right? He has to go through me before he can just start talking to clients. It was horrible. It was awful. He said the word gotcha like 28 times. He said the word like, I lost track.
Yeah.
He was like, so do you like know what your insurance like what your deductible was? And I wanted to kill myself,
Yeah.
right? And then he made some jokes, and I was just like, all right, like, bro, you don't know me, right? You don't know me, so you're not going to talk to me like this.
Yeah.
0% professionality is existing in this pitch right now. It'd be different if I see Ra's work and I see what he's doing. This is a random stranger, and you think you're going to win me over by talking like this? No, I'm not interested. Goodbye. I would have hung up 100 times.
Yeah.
But if I didn't explain that to him and tell it to him and give it to him as a fact, he can't go back and make those fixes. So I used to be nice. I'd be like, okay, like maybe let's work on this. And I'll be like, nah, don't waste my time. He was like, can we do another one? I'm like, no, don't waste my time. You know? So I think you have to be blunt so they get the picture. Otherwise, if you're too nice, they're never going to improve.
I mean, when someone is like just like outwardly saying like all the time, it's quite literally the opposite of conviction, which is number one for selling for me.
Agreed.
Like, I mean, if I believe in goat cheese, I can sell goat cheese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it always comes down to that for me, because we can follow all the structure that we want, spin
Right.
selling, all these other theories about how to get someone to buy. But when it comes down to it, Amel always says like, the reason I close deals is because I'm like, listen, this is gonna fucking be the
Yes.
best thing you ever do, because I've seen it, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna like when I'm in it. Now I'm saying like, like during any conversation with a prospect or anything like that, what I try to do is genuinely try to save them.
Yeah.
Because if someone is going to invest in their marketing at some point in time, I feel like I'm doing them a disservice if I'm not going to be the one that's going to help them.
Yeah.
Don't smile at me like that, bro.
What you smiling at,
He said
bro?
it 7 times since he started.
Like?
I'm counting them yet. Put a counter when you.
In a sales call is different. This is like a
Yeah.
friendly
I
conversation.
know.
You know what I mean?
You said you're
But
gonna
like,
be blunt. Be blunt with them.
It's all about strategies. Like, there's a strategic way to place a like in a sales call.
Right.
Sometimes
You
I
know?
actively have to add in
That's what
more
I mean.
ums and not sound too good
Yeah.
to be more relatable.
I
So
do
they
that.
know I'm a human.
I do that in my scripts when I do the teleprompter. Like when I literally add and and those just to be able to.
And then the
look in
editing
that script.
team goes
Yep.
and clips them out. So it's adding more work to them.
Nah, I literally tell them those those are there for purpose. But anyways,
Yeah.
But no, I do agree with you because you have to look like you're not scripted and you have to look like
Yeah.
you're because the script is there to help you just like follow the structure.
Yeah.
It's not to follow word by word. I know it's different, for example, with your guys' case because you guys have to be like very
Yeah.
to the T. You know?
I think you just have to match the person on the other phone.
Yeah.
Like, who am I talking to?
Yeah, and I also like something that you said in the last event when you were saying that you always throw that joke in the beginning or whatever.
Because laughter is the cure to any problem and any issue that anybody's ever had. If you are having a bad day and someone makes you laugh, even if you're distracted for 2 minutes, that completely takes you out of this pain or negative mindset that you might have been in for how long?
Yeah.
So nobody wants to talk about health insurance. Nobody likes that they have this bill that they have to pay every single month, and then a whole year goes by and maybe they didn't even use the
Yeah.
insurance. Nobody likes it, right? So I'm going to make their day better with a joke. I'm going to make their day better with a smile.
What's your go-to joke?
My go-to
Yes,
joke?
too. I love
Let me
this.
hear it.
I have a couple. What are they? You know them?
You said it on the event.
He's been
That's a
using it,
weird
When
man.
a
thing to
Friday
know,
night,
brother.
no,
That's a
listen,
weird
bro.
thing to
you
know,
know what?
G.
I think well, actually
Oh,
the
the
only
Friday
thing,
night.
She's got two.
the Friday night one, yeah.
Confidence, bro.
No, I'm saying that's what she saw in the event. So I like to actually listen like a lot of videographers, and I think that's what actually makes me, I think, a good content creator is the fact that a lot of videographers will just be there to record the content and get out.
Yeah.
I actually fucking sit down and listen. Like I actually try to memorize what they say. I try to like understand where they're coming from, challenge what they said.
I mean,
So,
you're
for
a
example,
creative director. It's completely
Yeah.
different than holding
now,
up a camera.
Now, I've never been like that. I
Yeah.
mean, 2 years ago, yeah, the switch happened. But for example, with her speech, probably I had like 4 videographers that day. None of them probably remember anything she said.
Yeah.
I remember everything she says. You know what I mean? Like I remember not her, her other. What's the
Bro,
word?
what did you even say right now? You remember her, not her?
I'm saying her and her other people, but I don't remember the other word. I don't want to say like
We're just
Yeah.
bullying
your
him a
friends
little
or whatever.
bit.
This
Long
is how
story
we
I'm
short.
trying to get the jokes, bro.
Anyways, long
Stop
story
trying to keep
short.
it to yourself.
Yeah.
the
Anyways, long story
secret?
short, the 2 jokes was one about Friday night and what was the other one?
One of them was about Friday night. So let's say I have a sales call Friday night, right? And I get on the phone with them at 7:00. They booked the appointment. They wanted to talk about insurance. So I say, hey, Mr. Client, I'm sure you're really excited to spend your Friday night with me talking about health insurance, right? Just like make it like I'm like sarcastically
Yeah,
talking about like, oh, I bet you
like
love having Friday nights hanging out with me,
like
right?
it.
And then again, just kind of relatable and like, I know they're not super excited, but we're
Yeah.
going to do it anyways.
You can use that today.
Another one. Sorry.
I said you can use that today.
True. Another one, let's say I have a 26-year-old, right? They are aging off of their parents' plan. The first thing I'll say to them is, happy birthday, welcome to adulting. Now we have to pay for our own health insurance. Doesn't that suck? Right? So just like something that they're related to and they laugh every time without fail.
Yeah.
So
I try to say, like, if you don't make them laugh, you won't get the deal. Because that is the best way to open them up.
I agree.
I love it.
Guards down, laughter makes people happy. It's all winning.
So what is the next steps
Yeah.
for your agency?
For the agency, so we're the underdogs, right? That's just we are. There's not many females in my role, especially doing the volume at the size that I'm at. So obviously, like, I don't care to be number one for myself anymore, but I know that people want to be a part of a winning team, right? So climbing the ranks, proving what everybody thinks is impossible, it does matter. So growth for us, the new office, changing a culture, making everybody enjoy what they're doing with their time. I don't want people to be miserable coming to work. Just like you guys are having fun, this is your work. I want my work environment and culture to be something people are craving. Like, I want to come into work versus like, oh great, now I have to. But I want to do it differently than the company has it right now. Every office, there's probably 100 offices within this company. There's no office that provides benefits. I'm going to be paying to have a personal trainer come and train my agents.
Nice.
Right? I have multiple phone calls with therapists to bring in an in-house therapist because the environment that we work in, the ups and the downs, and I'm a therapist right now.
Yeah.
And at one point, I continued therapy just so I could learn different techniques of how to handle things when my agents come to me, right? So I'm trying to create a completely different world that people are like craving to be a part of. So to me, that's next on a professional level. On a personal level, I'm getting to that point and I eventually want to be a mom and all the things. So I'm just trying to find a way to make sure my life is ready for that too. Because like I said, I want it all.
I'll tell you, you're never ready.
You're never ready. No. I believe you.
What is your biggest, the way you recruit right now? Is it social media?
No, I do. Because through my social media, I've gotten some people, but I think people see the glam and the fun and they don't see enough of the grind.
Yeah.
So they don't always know what they're going to get into. And I think that when we get people from Indeed, mostly. And I think that we do high volume. So we get a lot of people coming through the doors and we say no to a lot of them. Hire fast and fire fast, you know? And that's okay because like, I think it takes 10 to keep 2. If that's a statistic, that's what it is.
Right. Well, that's really cool. Like these are some awesome, commendable goals on the personal side. I love it. And on the business side, I really like that you're building an ecosystem that hasn't been seen in that space before. Because like you said, it's like male dominated. Male dominated things are not like thinking about therapy. They're not thinking about like mental health. They're not thinking about these types of things. So I think that that's massive. Like I think that that's going to give you the edge to find a team that is attracted to your core values and not just let's sell and make money.
Yeah.
Because money, you can get money doing anything. You can make $300-400K a year working a corporate job too, you know? So it's about wanting to be in that environment because they crave that like fast pace. So I think you're going to crush it. So I'm super excited to see what you're going to do.
Thank you.
But I wanted to give her the space to give people where they can find her.
So
Yeah.
I want to ask her one question before that. So we talked about sales, but also another thing that you're very big at is like leadership, which is really, really hard, especially when you manage this many people, not manage, but like lead this many people.
Yeah.
You deal with like the people that's very, like he said, hungry. You deal with the people that's nothing. What is the biggest challenge you face with this?
Yeah.
Leading a big team.
I struggle between, being tough and being kind. And I listened to a podcast the other day where the question is how do I use my heart less without being heartless or something, right? And it was just such a thought because I love my agents, right? But I need to be okay with if they don't like me now, but they love me later, like that's what I'm trying to work for. It's called tough love. That's what I need to do more of. I need to not be like, okay, it's okay that you're not feeling well. Bitch, are you dying?
Yeah.
No, you're fine. Get the fuck back to work, right? Like
But people get offended though. That's the
they
problem.
do. That's why I'm
And they
saying
quit.
there's a balance. You know what I mean? Like I have to find the right way to say it, your tonality and your delivery. Like, trust me, there are times in my mind, the first thing I want to say is get the fuck out of my face. But
Bitch, are
usually,
you dying is a crazy comment.
Yeah, for real.
like, why are you going on vacation? You made one good paycheck. What are you
Yeah.
thinking? You know? So that's my toughest challenge right now is finding that balance between continuing to love and support and not be like, Hitler and Stalin, but not being like a fucking Teletubby, right? I got to find the in between. I'm going to figure it out. Wish me luck.
Okay, so the last thing, actually, if you can just tell us where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm mostly on Instagram. My Instagram handle is It's Me Parita. I also have a website that you can find everything. So it's parita-patel.com. Pretty simple.
Awesome.
Thank you for being on, first of all, before we do the outro. I really appreciate everything that you brought to the table, and I definitely want to keep on seeing you win.
Thank you.
You deserve
I
it,
appreciate
so.
you. Thank you. I'll make you proud.
Again, thank you for coming on, Parita.
Okay.
So, guys, if you did enjoy, make sure to go show Parita some love. Obviously, if you resonate with what she's talking about, if you're local to Tampa Bay area and you're looking to maybe join her opportunity, then make sure to reach out to her. Obviously, she cares a lot about her team, so she'll probably care about you guys too and help you grow. But if you like this type of content, you like the podcast, you want us to bring on even more cool guests, just like Parita. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.